What's up YouTube? So today in this video we're going to do my top 10 drift cars in Need for Speed Heat. So as a rule of thumb, every car that's in this video and every car I've tried in this game, they are all rear wheel drive. I have upgraded them all to Ultimate Plus parts, and some have engine swaps. As well, I use showcase suspension, showcase differential, and all drag tires for each vehicle. So I judge each car based on how well they can slide and transition through each turn, as well how easy they are to drive off the bat and how well they can hold angle. With all that said, let's get right into the video. Number 10, the 1969 Dodge Challenger. So my first impression of this car, I expected it to actually drive really well, which it did. It's a little wobbly because it's a big, wide, long wheelbase car, and the car was decently smooth overall. And my only problem with it is that with the gearing, whether or not you use the stock like 4-speed, if you put the 5-speed in, 6-speed, 7-speed, whatever the case may be, the gearing is kind of awkward. It's either hitting rev limiter too much to the point that you don't get enough wheel speed to continue throughout the turn, or it's just too little and it just bogs out and pretty much straightens up. It's pretty good with my current setup, but because of its drawbacks, that's why it's at number 10. Number 9, the 2014 Dodge Challenger. Now I know it's just another Challenger, but this car actually really took me by surprise. So Challengers are actually really heavy, so I kind of expect this car to not drive that well and be really tough to slide around. But this car, it was actually really smooth and very consistent with the way it holds angle and its speed and stuff like that. Now on transitions, you have to do a little persuasion, with the clutch kick or double tap on the gas. It does it pretty smoothly, but you can feel the weight of the car trying to shift, and it kind of struggles a little bit. But overall, the car was really smooth, and I really actually enjoyed this car a lot. So like I just said, this car is a boat, so that's why I gave it the rating of number 9 on this list. Number 8, the BMW M2. As you expect from a BMW, German engineering, the car is meant to grip, and that's why I use drag tires on these cars. So in drift, this car is very grippy, and you can see how shallow of angle it kind of pulls. But as well, it pulls it very well, so it makes this car really good for like long sweeping turns and stuff like that, and going really fast. Now I would have put this car low on the list because it holds shallow angle, but since it holds it so well and it's so quick, another big thing to me was the transitions. It doesn't really take much of anything to make this car transition to go whichever direction you want. Maybe you might use the handbrake here and there, but for the most part, you gotta do is just double tap the gas and it does whatever you need to do. The downside to it holding shallow angle is that if you were like on a tight technical track, it's really difficult to actually get around the corners because the car doesn't want to pull any form of angle. It just wants to kind of go straight. Therefore, it's number 8 on this list. Number 7, the Dodge Viper. The Dodge Viper is very light and very quick. It's actually really smooth going in a one-way direction, drifting around a turn. But the number one thing I had a problem with this car is transitions. The transition, you have to hit the handbrake. There's no way around it. You have to use the handbrake or do something, because this car, it wants to hold that angle and just stay there. It don't want to do anything else but just stay at that one angle. Overall, it's an easy car to drive, but because of its issues with transitions, it's number 7. Number 6, the Honda S2000. This car is very similar to the way the Viper drives. It's very smooth on sweeping turns, but it struggles in transitions. Now with the Honda S2000, I found that if you use a lot more throttle control, you can kind of somewhat get around having those little stiff transitions and be able to chain your drift. This car is my second favorite car on my list, but it has the same drawbacks as the Viper, so that's why I rated it at number 6. Number 5, the 1971 Datsun 240Z. So originally, this car was going to be my number 1 choice for this video, but unfortunately, again, this is another car that struggles to transition. This car, as you can see right now on the video, it is very, very, very smooth, if not the smoothest car I've driven in this game for drifting. It holds the angle perfectly, does whatever you need to do other than transitions. Again, I can't stress this enough. Transitions is the biggest thing to me because that's how you change the drift, that's how you keep your smoothness, that's how you have your overall fluidity throughout the drift. Don't get me wrong, this is a really fun car, but the transitions, it needs some work. So maybe I might try this car out again and probably use probably the super drag tires instead of the elites and see what happens. I know people use speed cross, but drag feels the best to me, and as a result, the Datsun is number 5. Number 4, the Nissan Silvia S15. The Silvia feels a little similar to the Datsun, but the Silvia is a little bit looser and more maneuverable than the Datsun per se. And with transitions, it's okay with transitions for the most part. All you have to do is clutch kick or press the handbrake to get the transition, and it'll do exactly what you need it to. The car is pretty easy and it feels, I don't know how to explain it, I guess I'll say simple, like how a simple drift car should feel. Granted, this is an arcade racer, but you should get what I'm saying. The car is pretty fun and it's really simple and easy to drive off the rip from just, say drag tires or even stock. As you all know, the S15 is a classic drift car, so you already know it's going to be in the top 4. Number 3, the Mazda FDR X7. So I've heard that this car is probably one of the best drift cars in probably, I believe, 2015 and payback. Well, that is still true to this day for the New Speed Heat. This car, what I felt is that it's very, very light. It's kind of wobbly because it's light, and you have to kind of understeer and oversteer to get the car to slide and extend the turns. Now, the car, it does it very, very, very well, and it's really quick if you have the right mods on it. The car is easy to drive, but overall, it's not per se the smoothest in terms of angle, but overall, it's really great, and therefore, it's in the top 3. Number 2, the Chevrolet Corvette. The Corvette felt as light, if not lighter, than the RX-7. It drives very similar, but with the Corvette, you can see that it kind of holds the angle a little bit better. It does wobble just a little bit, but it holds its angle more consistently than the RX-7 does. Aside from a BMW M2, I believe that this Corvette is probably one of my fastest drift cars when it's in drift, because I find myself having to really slow down and throw a lot of angle to get it to slow down through the corner so I can actually make the corner and have a perfect slide. On top of that, since this car is fast and it can hold a lot of angle, that makes it perfect for pretty much any type of track, whether it be the fast sections or even the technical tracks. So therefore, I put it at number 2. Number 1, the Nissan 350Z. So this car is my actual number 1 favorite drift car in this game, and the reason being is that it's the most balanced drift car in the game, in my opinion. So with this car, it has the power, depending on which motor you put it in there, but as well, when it comes to like transitions and the smoothness, all you have to do is really just have a lot of throttle control, and it'll do exactly what you need it to do. It's the easiest car to drive. It's the one car that I've had the most fun in, and can pretty much do any track with no problem in this car and just be as smooth as possible and get the best drift score I can in each event. So I'll stop talking and let you just watch a little bit and tell me in the comments what you think down below. thank you guys for tuning into the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe and drop a like. In the comment section down below, give me any suggestions of any vehicles you have tried that you believe are the best in the game, and I'll try it out and even do a video. And as well, I hope you guys can, use my video and actually try these cars out and judge whether or not you think that they're the best. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.